Episode 194. Somebody is going to die today. That is to say, Sir Aymeric is facing an execution at the hands of the Archbishop and the Heavensward, and if we don't storm the castle and rescue him, he's probably going to die. For heresy or something. Some stupid reason like that. Luckily, it seems like we've recruited all of the major parties we need to mount the rescue. Primarily Hilda, the mongrel, and her entire party of people, right here. Her filthy fellow and her beggarly fellow, I'm sure they're going to be a huge help. She's got other guys, I'm sure. These guys had nothing new, right? Yeah. We've been working in secret to undermine the Holy See and the High Houses. That much I'll acknowledge. But this nonsense about us throwing wide the gates for the heretics is just that. Nonsense. Okay, I was wondering, because throwing open those gates is pretty serious. Like, just from a observer perspective or whatever. Even if they were trying to overthrow, like, the High Council or the Holy See or whatever. If Hilda and her group did that, it would kind of be... What's the term? Like a character moral event horizon or something? Not quite a moral event horizon, but it'd just be something like leaning towards that. But at least she's saying that she doesn't involve herself in that kind of thing. If not you, then who? You Temple Knights, of course. Reckoned it was your beloved Sir Aymeric's doing it first. But then I heard how he lost his head. My next best guess would be the Heavensward. Yeah, that's more on par with that cutscene we saw and what we know about the Heavensward. That way they'd have the perfect excuse to go door to door, through the broom, slaughter the heretics and their sympathizers in one fell swoop. But the Heavensward scheme did not account for Lady Iceheart's intervention, and so they have been forced to improvise. A fine bloody mess, ain't it? But the die is cast, so what's the plan? We must divert the attention of the High Houses away from the city, and to do that we need the cooperation of your allies in their service. And what makes you think I have friends in high places? You would be fools not to, given your goals. Lowborn knights are ideal recruits. I guess that's what Komori tried to do in the last episode, at least what I'm pretending. Tried to get a spy on the inside, didn't exactly pan out, because it was a side quest and I was just pretending. Most swore fealty only out of desire for a better life. If offered an opportunity to shed the yoke and live for themselves, who among them would not at least be tempted to take it? Shed the yoke, does that mean, like, ditch the people that are like feeding you or something? Or whatever. Yolk as in the yolk inside an egg, and then only hatchlings or whatever feed on the yolk, or things that haven't hatched yet, so... Don't think I've heard this term before, so I think it makes sense, like, linguistically. Where is the man eager to die for a cause he does not hold dear? But it need not come to that this day. If they and their fellow knights are deployed afield to deal with a new threat, a massing of heretics, for example, then they will be unable to join in the defense of the vault. Huh. Spread the false reports of an attack to get them out of harm's way, you mean? The city will not soon forget the heretics' last assault. If the High Houses believe another attack is imminent, they will have no choice but to act. Can it be done? Can we trick them into leaving Ishgard? Aye. Can we keep them out for long? Not bloody likely. Make sure you're ready before I send the word, because you won't get a second chance at this. Then it is decided. To the vault, the Archbishop must be held to account. And the Lord Commander granted his liberty. And what are you guys gonna do? filthy fellow and beggarly fellow. You seriously mean to attack the vault then, do you? As in, charge in there screaming and swinging steel? Bloody hells. Well, I guess we'll be swinging around sky steel, this gun, sure, yeah. Are these guns actually made out of steel? What is sky steel? Is it like an actual thing, or is it just a fancy name? Is there like in-game an actual thing that you can craft as a crafter called sky steel? I wouldn't know. So, what happens if we wouldn't? I don't know, figure that out for yourself. Only one chance. Or, one chance only, Komoy. Make it count. Did you see the way she wielded that weapon of hers? Maybe I should get one for my own protection. Oh what, you're not impressed by us? You're impressed by her? I see how it is. Her gun is bigger than ours, isn't it? That's what's more impressive. Gods help me, I think we might just do this. With allies such as these, we cannot fail. Yeah, with allies such as these. Hearken to me, everyone. We have two objectives. Rescue Sir Aymeric and apprehend the Archbishop. We will therefore divide our forces into two parties. Estinian and I will make ready to breach the underground jail and search for the Lord Commander. We will not move, however, until the second party has entered the vault. I speak of your party, Warrior of Light, together with Lord Horshaphant and Master Alphinaud. For this plan to succeed, you will need to fight your way into the highest levels of the vault, even unto the Archbishop's private chambers. When the Heavensward realizes what you intend, they will fly to their master's side, leaving only a token force to guard the jail. Temple Knights loyal to our cause have already secured the entrance to the vault. Once you are within, they will signal to us. If all goes to plan, we shall rejoin you with Sir Aymeric and confront the Archbishop together. Is everyone clear as to their duties? Then let us do what must needs be done. I like how everyone just kind of runs off in their own directions. No, Tatar, you're with us. You're not with them. I guess she kind of works over here in the bar, but still. Are they actually down here? Oh, she is. I wish I still had some blood pearls. Oh, wasn't that from that one quest she had us do during the patch quests? Like right before the banquet? I think so. Not sure why she's saying that now, though. Alright, so we're going to the pillars. Right, the vault has the huge door at the very top of the pillars. I was wondering where the entrance to the dungeon was. Obviously, it's going to be at the big door to the vault. That's always been there. So again, like a lot of things in previous content, ever since Shadowbringers and just kind of throughout the entire history of the game, they updated some things retroactively, including this upcoming dungeon or whatever. Just like how we went through Sohm All with Lady Iceheart and Estinian and Alphinaud, we get to go in with a party of NPCs when there was previously only the option to go in with players. Even though the NPCs were already kind of accompanying you in that dungeon, like lore-wise, back in the day, now they actually accompany you, which is like a big fun thing. It's always fun to have your favorite NPCs by your side. So we're going to do that instead of actually getting real human players. It would seem we must again come to blows with a Heavensward. We emerged from trial by combat relatively unscathed, but I pray we are a match for the whole of their order. I would be lying if I said the idea of drawing my blade in the vault does not give me pause. But a knight lives to serve, and there is no greater calling for a knight than to save the life of his fellow man. If I must brandish sword and shield in those hollowed halls to do so, then so be it. Just a stand-up guy. The others are in position, Mistress Komoy. Oh, you're on our side then. I will send word once you and your party have entered. You know what? I'm going to pretend that this guy is that, No, wait, this guy's Ellison, right? The guy that we talked to last time as part of that side quest was Hero on Hard Times, not an Ellison on Hard Times. I was about to pretend that this guy wearing the mask was going to be that guy. And pretend that we, I don't know, got him in as a spy on the other side or something. But no, he's just some Ellison guy. Doesn't matter. Would have been fun to pretend though. So actually, yeah, I was wondering. The person that fills in for the last part of the party, unfortunately, is just some random guy. It's just like this thing with Justinian during the Aerie all over again. You get Justinian and 2 random guys, which isn't very fun. Just having one guy is somehow even more infuriating than just having 2 guys and 1 actual named NPC. In some ways, I don't know. Because it's like, they almost had it, you know? They could have fit in 1 more NPC somehow. Like Hilda or something as a DPS, but that wouldn't really make much sense because 1, she's off doing lore things to lure people away from the vault, and 2, she's not really a machinist, so she can't use the machinist toolkit. She just has a gun. That doesn't really make you a machinist. What if I'm a gladiator? What happens to that? Right, obviously, Horsefont becomes the DPS, that makes sense. Alphinode remains the healer, and I don't have healer, so I can't really see what... If we became healer, then that would make Alphinode... Right, he's an academician, so he is both a scholar and a summoner, or whatever. He has Carbuncle. So that would make him the DPS, I guess. And Horsefont would be the tank. We're relying on you this time, to be the tank, front and center. Take all the hits for us. And with no wait time, we're right into it. Having a dungeon inside like the city that you're staying inside for the expansion, it's just kind of interesting. Like if you had a dungeon inside Ul'dah or Lenothia or Gridania, for example. You never really have those, but you have one here in Ishgard. You could have had a dungeon inside Ul'dah for the escape, during that whole thing with the banquet. That would have been great. A great way to cap off patch 2.55, the end of A Realm Reborn. That would have been climactic. I bet they wish they did that. Alright team. Anything to say before we go off? Temple Banneret? Whoever you are? Wait a second, is this guy here? Okay, here we go. I'm going to pretend that this guy, even though he probably looks completely different, maybe he dyed his hair or something, got a haircut, I'm going to pretend that this guy is the hero on Hard Times that we were talking to in that side quest at the end of the last episode, and we convinced him to help us out. Yeah, just to fill in the ranks. I'm pretending super hard right now. Don't confuse this Temple Banneret with our Temple Banneret. They have the same name. Keeping the chat window open in the bottom left so that I can see all the dialogue from Horsefont and Alphinode. This is my first time doing it with an NPC party, so I am eager to see what they have to say now. Gotta remember I have the drill, the best button in the game. For the machinist, anyway. Do they really fill in all of these seats? Like when they have Holy Mass or something? Maybe it's only for like the most important things and otherwise this whole room just goes to waste otherwise? They should let you get married here. Or would that be too much? I don't know. They let you get married in Eorzea, in that one temple or whatever. This place is pretty fancy, so I don't know. Just seemed like a good idea to me. Mind me? Oh, I can't go draw aggro from everyone else. There is no one else. Just another wall. I'm not sure how useful it is to weave in the drill during AoE stuff. It's fine though. And actually I should take up this position a lot, as much as I can, where I'm looking back at the party so I can see what kind of moves they're doing. Because Alphinaud, even though he's a summoner, he's not really a summoner. He just has Carbuncle. Although, no, I guess right now he's a scholar. And then there's Horsefant, who's a gladiator, even though he should kind of be a paladin, sort of. I guess paladin has its own lore thing, so I don't really match up with that. Yeah, I was about to say, if we could get this other guy in the group, that'd be great. Oh, and there is that entire group over there, too. This guy has too much health. Not exactly doing wall-to-wall pulls here. I guess I want to take it in. I even missed their dialogue here. Nothing really special in their dialogue, just want to take note of it. And right at the boss entering with full battery. We did overcap a little bit. It's not like I'm being optimal here. First boss is the Heavensward. Well, someone from the Heavensward, Sir Outofel. I don't know if we've dealt with him before. And his cronies, I guess. He got bigger. I guess you can do that with magic. Not Komor, though. I think I was too late on that tactician. Wouldn't have snapshotted. Oh well. It's not like I needed to use it. Where are you going? Or we're just not going to stand near those. Ah, Horsefant is giving us a pep talk mid-battle. You love to see it. Don't bash me. Horsefant, shield me. Okay. We took the hit. It's fine. We can take the hits. I think that does less damage the further away you get from him, maybe. You might have done that mechanic like not entirely correct. Yeah, how do you like that? You're small now. How do you like it? Yeah, go tell your friends. Now Alphinaud's wondering how they transformed. It's magic, Alphinaud. I guess that's not a thing that magic normally does. If it does, then we could do it, right? The real answer is that they have to make the bosses big for the players in like a multiplayer MMO scenario, so that they can be seen in the middle of battle. But I'm sure there's a lower reason for why they get big. Ah. Could have used the reassemble there. Oh well. I also could have drawn more aggro on these guys, wall to wall and all that. Doesn't really matter. We left a treasure chest right here. So these are the guys on the Temple Knight side that oppose Sir Americ's rise to power, right? The half of the knights that don't want to turn against the Heavensward and all that. But did they just see the Heavensward guy turn into a huge guy or whatever? I mean, it's not like smoking gun or anything, it's not demonic witchcraft or whatever. Or is it? I don't know, but... if I were on these guys' side and I saw the Heavensward start doing that, I don't know. Maybe I'd have doubts. Maybe they're just too stuck in it to actually doubt anything. Two faces of the hero. What kind of moves does Horsepont have anyway? Just like standard gladiator stuff? I think I've seen those animations on Komoy as a gladiator. Yeah, that's the Rate of Halone, that move. And actually I never really thought about it, but Rage of Halone is like an Ishgardian thing, but you get that gladiator move all the way back into Realm Reborn as your combo finisher. I guess Halone is like revered just everywhere, right? Not just in Ishgard. So Gladiator is named a move after her. Or maybe it came from Ishgard and Gladiators use it. Gladiators do, like in lore I think, adopt a variety of techniques or something, just like from all over. If I have that right, I don't know. Maybe I'll draw the rest. Those guys look serious. Giant chess horses. We'll take them one at a time. Not that I'm actually worried, I do just want to take things slow a bit. Oh, I had one more crossbow. Okay, good, I used it. Shoot him in the knee. There's no point in using that move. Should I have saved the battery for the boss? It doesn't matter. If you actually do wall-to-wall pulls, including these guys with the ads before, it becomes pretty interesting when they bust out moves like that that don't just target the main tank or whatever. It's always fun when the dungeon design allows for things like that. Now what do we have to say about Sir Grino? Did we fight this guy before? I don't remember. You bested him once before, together we shall do so again. Yeah, we fought him. He's the guy that we fought in the Trial by Combat, that's right. Damn. Right in the middle of my combo. My wildfire was useless. And as expected, he grew big as well. It's just the Heavensward trump card, I guess. Just grow big from the start. Hyperdimensional Slash. Players online tend to ignore this mechanic. You just have to get away from the black hole. And there are more black holes the longer the battle goes on. Now it seems like the black holes disappear, never mind. I guess we can see what happens when I get too close. We get tethered. A vulnerability stack. That keeps on stacking if you stand near it. Dimensional Rift, what does that do? Another black hole? That's a bit different from the usual black holes. I don't remember what that does. What happens when we stand there? I think it's just damage? Ow. Yep, it's damage, alright. Don't worry guys, I checked. Tell your friends. I like the speech bubbles, but it's always hard to catch their speech bubbles with them moving around and all that. That's why I have to keep the chat window in the bottom left open. Just some knights patrolling. Do they normally have this? Or is this just like special for right now? Probably should have wall-fired the other guy. More horses. Don't worry guys, Komoy will pick up the loot. Dropped my combo there. Or whatever. Failed to start it. So what is this for exactly? I never actually paid attention to it on my main character. Never really looked out these windows, it just occurred to me. I guess they have some kind of rooftop garden here. We're close to the roof now. Or no, we're still inside the vault. It's just like a greenhouse or something. There's a roof up there. The ceiling or whatever. I can't believe they have this on the inside. They should make you go through this as part of the dungeon, the hedge maze or whatever. I bet a lot of people don't even know this exists. I mean, who would even look outside the window, right? I never did until now. So this entire place is like... I guess it's just an intermediary floor. And this boss room is just a beautiful plaza surrounded by water. Never really admired the water features either. I guess I always saw them there, but my mind was always on other things. It really is kind of a beautiful place. Anyway, we don't have time to admire the water features. And now, the roof. Which is, I guess, where the Archbishop's private chambers are, or something. That Vault Priest is just standing in the back there, waiting for his turn. A lot of people like to believe that if you can DPS this guy down fast enough that he can't do his thing. But I've had several instances where you manage to do that, but it doesn't really happen. So right here. People think that you can stop him from doing this, but he always hangs on by a sliver. And that's it. No more mobs. Just the final boss. Can you actually see? No, it's just fog down there. I was wondering if you could maybe see the pillars from up here. I think you can maybe see the top of the vault from the pillars. Maybe you should have looked up before entering the dungeon. Oh well. I think this is the way to the Archbishop's private chambers, just beyond there. I can't imagine what else is behind those doors, unless it's like some kind of holy attic or something. But having to come up here for your private chambers like all the time, that doesn't really make much sense, does it? Maybe he has like a private elevator. Oh, there he is. There's the Pope. Yeah, get big. Sir Cherryburt. The guy that we just fought, I'm realizing now. Cherryburt being the guy that broke into the bar the other day, right? That we just fought last episode, I'm pretty sure. Alright. I'll start it off. Don't worry, guys. Let's stand in that. I think we want to separate the chains. Yep. Sometimes you want to connect the chains, sometimes you want to separate them. Most of the time it's separate. And he's got more horses. They just move in a line. These horses do still get people, if you're not paying attention. One of those pay attention mechanics. Where's he going?
And now the final cut.
The horses are untargetable. It's just taking out these flames. Horses are stage hazard.
me a mercy.
Ah, my tactician was off. He does less damage based on how many flames you destroy. We didn't quite get all of them. Still did pretty sizable damage, I guess.
Sickness must be purged. Be done with you.
Oh, I stood in that one. Oops.
Sickness must be purged.
Really had to get away from the temple banneret there. That guy's definitely the weak link in the chain. I guess he really had to stay within DPS range, huh?
Sickness must be purged.
Killer Queen bites the dust. It didn't quite kill him. I guess this will. If the banneret isn't going to do it, I will. You're so happy. Battle's technically not over. Tell your friends. And what do we have to say? And you? Nothing? Nameless NPCs don't get to say anything. And Orgifon says... I didn't quite catch it. What'd you say? Are we alright? Are you alright? You're the one tanking. Well, I guess we did kind of take some hits there. Kind of got close to death right at the very end while I was doing the limit break and kind of got nicked by one of those horses scraping by me. Must have made Orgifon pretty worried. Don't worry, we're not gonna die today.
Our power! How can this be? Fall back!
No, they joined us after all. He looks pretty beat up.
Father, please!
For a mercy, we were not too late.
Why must you do this, Father? Nidhogg is fallen. There is no need for further deception. Now is the time to renounce the lies which led us down this path. To start anew!
And tear down the very pillars of our society? Our history, our values, everything we have built over 1,000 years? A fool to the last.
Look out!
Go. Asisla awaits.
Lord Orchefort!
It's no good. The wound is too deep. It refuses to mend.
You are unharmed? Forgive me. I could not bear the thought of... Oh, do not look at me so. A smile better suits a hero.
I think probably for a lot of people, that scene is like the big thing in Heavensward, thing that everybody kind of talks about. Like the biggest dramatic story moment that kind of solidifies Final Fantasy XIV as, like, a great story for them. I guess nothing in A Realm Reborn, even if there are moments, quite really compares to things like that. I kind of agree with it. Feels like Orchefort from the very beginning, I don't know. Did they have this plan for him? Did they know that he would become a fan favorite, and like how far in advance did they plan the story of Heavensward? That he would be just a guy that takes the fall for you. He isn't really involved in the story that much, not as much as Justinian or Ysayle or even anyone really. He's just kind of there, a good stand-up guy. And then he dies. Kind of makes me think that he wasn't really planned to die initially, but maybe the reaction to him in Realm Reborn originally kind of made them realize, well, he was everyone's favorite or something. Mine too. I don't know how far in advance they planned these things. Obviously they wanted Ishgard to be the next part of the story, the place you go to right after the base game, the first expansion. Obviously because Coerthas is actually a place that you visit in the base game, just right outside of Ishgard, so clearly they had some idea for what story they wanted to tell in Ishgard, but not sure if they had all of the details down. All this to say, it's kind of hard to process, sometimes, Orchefort's death. In some ways it feels like they just do it so there's a dramatic moment and it is effective, but he is also, like I said, not completely present in the story, not entirely. But then, there's no need for just the important characters to do everything, right? It's not like just the important characters are going to do all the important things and maybe be at risk of dying or whatever, right? I guess just people like Orchefort who are good people are also in harm's way. And they serve as motivation for everyone else, I guess. I know not what to say. The others, they are gathered at Fort Tom's Manor. For what it is worth, Mistress Moiko, my condolences. I guess we'll see how everyone else feels about that. I don't think motivation is going to be the thing on everyone else's mind right now. Music is kind of somber. This is just the music that always plays at night, I think. Pretty sure. Kind of feels appropriate right now. The others are, please enter, Mistress Moiko. Even this guy, who just always has the same dialogue whenever you enter the house, he has something else to say.
Don't. Please. A knight lives to serve, to protect, to sacrifice. There is no greater calling. Leave me to mourn and give chase. For my son, and for the nation he loved. Go!
It's kind of hard to think what this guy's thinking, knowing that Horchefant died for us, basically. Probably doesn't want to see us. Maybe that's a bit too harsh, I don't know. Maybe that's not what he's thinking at all.
His sacrifice shall not be forgotten.
My son.
It was interesting, that last voice line there. It didn't even have a text box associated. Just him crying out, my son. Somehow removing the text box makes that even more heartbreaking. I'm sorry, I can't. I could not stand there in silence, but when all the others had forsaken us, Lord Horchefant took us in, our beacon of hope in a world of darkness. Right. What did he call it again? The falling snows? He did his utmost to raise our spirits, so that we might face our troubles with courage, with conviction, so that we might face them as knights. We must press on with our mission. Tataru, pray return to your duties at the Forgotten Knight. Let us go and speak with Sir Aymeric Komoy. I worry for his well-being. It might be a bit too soon, but yeah, the major parties have left. Does Sky have anything to say? I'm sorry, Mistress Moiko, but I cannot. Normally he has a whole list of things that he can give us as an NPC, just spewing lore at us. Not today, though. And you? This is a black day for House Fort Tom's. Music down here too. It's just the same music. But after an event like that, it becomes appropriate. Somehow. The door is over down here, right? Wonder if she has anything more to say. Everyone's on edge these days. They're drinking more, which is good for business, admittedly, but they're doing it for all the wrong reasons. And actually, yeah. Other than Portiafon's death, where exactly does this leave us now with the Archbishop fleeing his own country or whatever? Where does everyone else stand? Guess that's what we're about to figure out. An audience with the Lord Commander? Yes, of course. So I guess he's the Lord Commander still. He's not, like, ousted or anything. I guess everyone that sided with the Archbishop has been ousted in turn. Curse those bloody whoresons and piss on their swiving round table. He was pretty silent during the whole affair. Yeah. Guess everyone is dealing with something. So, Aimeric.
My friends, I am in your debt.
Think nothing of it. Your wounds are healing well, I trust.
Some wounds do not heal.
Now? Okay. What are we seeing?
The founding. The scriptures, 1,000 years of lies, all to deceive the common man. Nay, our own brothers and sisters. For the blood of the Knights 12 flows within all our veins. You knew this to be true. You knew, and you concealed it.
I should be interested to hear how you came by this knowledge. But yes, you have the right of it. The architects of Ishgard, King Thordan and his Knights 12, entrapped and butchered the great worm, Ratatoskr, that they might partake of her eyes and thereby transcend their mortal limits.
Right, but then what happened to those eyes? They like ate them, split it between the 12 or 14 of them or whatever? No, wait, it is 12. Or 13, I guess.
Upon learning of their treachery, Nidhogg was consumed with a murderous and justified rage. I dare say you know what followed.
The great worm slew the king and half of his knights.
And I guess the eyes that they ate from Ratatoskr or whatever, it's not like the same way that they use the eyes that they got from Nidhogg. They just kept one for the Dragoons, Estinian or whatever, that's the one he has, and he didn't partake of it, he just kind of has it, uses it.
Aye, but Nidhogg was subdued, and his eyes plucked from their sockets by the knights that remained. Their one mistake was to show mercy, for from his brother Hreisvelger did Nidhogg receive a new eye, thus rejuvenating his form and empowering him to embark upon an eternal quest for vengeance.
Whilst Thordan's son Haldreth took one of Nidhogg's eyes and learned to wield its power in defense of his people.
Thus was the first Azure Dragoon born, and ever since that time, his honored successors have risen to drive Nidhogg from our lands whenever the worm has returned to plague us. I ask you, my son, will you answer for my sins? Will your son and his son answer for me as well?
What do you mean?
If a man cannot atone for his sins in the course of his all-too-fleeting life, must his progeny then be held to account? Must every subsequent generation be judged as well? Thorin's betrayal of Ratatoskr was an unconscionable, unforgivable sin. Should we then, as his descendants, meekly surrender ourselves to an eternity of punishment? Nay, say I. I would not see our children sacrificed in a vain attempt to appease an implacable foe. Dragons are not like us, my son. To they who live forever, the wrongs of antiquity are as those of yesterday. No reparations shall ever suffice.
He's bringing up some fair points about passing off, like, crimes or sins to progeny or whatever, but I feel like it's all being facetious. Just him saying the good things without talking about the bad things.
This fact alone should serve as ample justification for our actions. Yet some refuse to see it as such. For men like you, who yearn to commit themselves to a nobler cause, a more compelling narrative is required.
Right, there it is. There's the turn.
This is your solution. This is how you protect our people. You have given us a lost cause, a death sentence. With your compelling narrative, you but doom our countrymen to give their lives for a lie.
And they do so gladly. Highborn and lowborn alike are proud to serve, to fight and die for their country. And what would you say to them? What would you tell the wives who have lost their husbands? The mothers who have lost their sons? That their loved ones died for naught? Over the course of 1,000 years, countless men have donned these robes, and every one of them came to accept the necessity of this solution. Once, I hoped you might come to accept it as well. Do not despair, my son. Soon I shall free us from the sins of antiquity, and bring about the change you so fervently desire. If he has spoken with others, I would have their names. Escort him to a cell and question him thoroughly.
Your Eminence.
Zephyrin. He's kind of the worst guy. He's the one that did it. Probably out of all of the Heavensward, the 12 or the 14, that's the one name I do remember. I'm sure Comor remembers it.
You saw something, did you not? A vision of the past?
So this is the power of the Echo. Would that it had shown you a finer moment from my past. 'Twas an exercise in futility, as you saw. Faced with the firmity of his conviction and his many ready rejoinders, my words deserted me. To be frank, I am embarrassed to recall it.
Friend once impressed upon me the importance of differentiating between words, deeds, and beliefs. Were he here, I suspect he would judge your father's conviction to be no more than rank self-serving delusion. Even so, I cannot help but wonder what manner of change he intends to bring about.
I have given some thought to that as well. During the battle within the vault, the Heavensward demonstrated strange and unnatural abilities.
Okay, so those were not normal for magic. Noted.
Aye, the manner in which Sir Zephyrin struck down Lord Horshafon was unlike anything I've ever seen before.
The spectacle called to mind King Thordan and his Knights 12 as they are depicted in scripture, holy powers and all.
Mere fabrications, which have become objects of faith, instilled with the belief of countless devoted souls. 7 hells!
If Lady Iceheart can use her own body as a vessel for summoning, I see no reason why others could not.
It all comes back to summoning.
Are the Heavensward truly so reckless?
Unbelievable.
As they fled, my father spoke of Aziz La. Though I know not what he intends, I fear no good shall come of it. His ambitions are too great, and his minions too powerful. We must find the Heavensward and stop my father before it is too late.
Mistress Moriko, Master Alfinode, I, Aymeric, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, do hereby entreat the aid of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Our aid in preventing whatever it is that the Archbishop intends. Your aid in bringing him to justice. Too much blood has been spilled for the lies he perpetuated. No more. Yeah. Kelmoy remembers Sir Zephyrin's name. Yes. Yes, of course. You two were close, I know. Much has changed since our Order's founding, but our duty to combat the primal threat has not. If the Archbishop and the Heavensward are guilty of the crime of summoning, then Kelmoy and I will stop them. Would that I could join you in the pursuit, but alas, my father's absence has thrown our government into chaos. Yep, I did imagine it did. Ever since the founding of our nation, there has been an archbishop to serve as a guiding light for the masses, a force for stability to counterbalance the High House's ceaseless maneuvering. Convincing the people to recognize the truth of our origins would have been difficult, even with my father's support. The road ahead is that much more fraught with peril without it. Yet walk it we must, for unity is more vital to our survival than ever. After all, Nidhogg's death did not mark the cessation of Dravanian hostilities. Far from it. We will have great need of each other in the days to come. You may count on my lance, Sir Aymeric. To my dying breath, I shall defend Ishgard from the Horde. If I may, Lord Commander, I would like to assist the Scions in their search for the Archbishop. Kelmoy, Master Alfinode, pray attend to me outside. Very well. With me, Kelmoy. I believe we have much to discuss. And we'll join them shortly. Let's just say we're getting prepared for the upcoming assault or whatever. I've used that excuse 3 times in a row now, or something. But now we're really gearing up, aren't we? The first half of the story was dealing with the Dragonsong War or whatever, and then it was summarily ended. Then the second half is now off to a running start or whatever, with a very dramatic death and all of that. But I think before we go off chasing after the Archbishop, Kelmoy hasn't really had a chance to be alone, so we'll give her a moment. Now would be a good time to take a break.